Well, first off, it legitimately might just be David Montgomery again, because when you look at their schedule, it the schedule makers did it again. They finish Lions, Cardinals, who are one of the worst run defenses in the NFL. Then they play the Packers, then Vikings, Seahawks, Giants. Like David Montgomery might be a top 10 running back in the second half of the season again, and might be a good guy to acquire if you're above 500 right now. But I've got a list. Do we want to go through the whole list now?
Yeah, sure. Whatever you want.
I think the Eagles is a pretty good answer, and that starts this week because of their schedule for the next 3 weeks. But then also in the fantasy playoffs, I believe they go football team, Giants, football team, which is pretty good for the passing game. So I think Jalen Hurts, Miles Sanders, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert could all four be second half breakouts. Hurts has kind of already done it, so he's probably a bad example. But the Eagles,
dear goodness, here it's not even. You go to week 12, Giants, Jets, bye, Washington, Giants, Washington. Wow.
Right, the worst part is the bye.
Yeah, the bye's in week 14, which is weird.
And offensive coordinator Shane Steichen said yesterday that he basically admitted they've got to get Miles Sanders going. So he's a terrific buy low running back.
All right, well, let's stay there because I think you can make so many great cases for Miles Sanders. Schedule, he's been good. He is good. Everyone in
Philly line getting healthy with Lane Johnson coming back.
There's still no Brandon Brooks, but yeah, everyone in Philadelphia seems to know how good and he is. But can we really trust the Eagles to do right by Miles Sanders? Because I really think you could argue they have not done that at any point in his career other than when Jordan Howard got hurt as a rookie.
Everybody's new. We can't hold the mistakes of Doug Peterson against this coaching staff.
No, I understand that, but this coaching staff hasn't done it yet. And except maybe week one, I don't know. But maybe we just all think Miles Sanders is better than he actually is. And the people that really know don't have, there's a reason maybe that he hasn't been given the work that everyone in the world seems to think he should get. So how much do you trust it with Miles Sanders? Because I don't know. I have trouble trusting.
Well, I think that's really important. Like if we're doing our job and giving you people to actually break out in the second half, there should be a great deal of question around whether that's going to actually happen. If everybody thinks they're going to break out in the second half, it's not very useful for us to tell you that, because nobody's going to let you buy them.
Sure. But my question is, how much faith do you have in the Eagles to give him that role that's going to lead to the breakout?
I would say some, because while they're talking it up and they're saying, first of all, they have to realize that they need to run the football. Like they've barely done it as it is. So I don't know if you want to add the physicality element to pro football, which I don't know, it's kind of an important thing. You run the football, you put him in that position, and you take pressure off of your quarterback, who's become, not as good of a passer as he was earlier in the year. So try and bring balance back to that offense. And I think that Sanders can. I think they'll give him the chance to do it. His playing time has been up already the last 2 weeks. Kenneth Gainwell has become an afterthought. And I don't think that's necessarily going to change. So it's all about more opportunities for Sanders. And I think there's a chance that he could get it. And the schedule is really good.
Okay. Yeah, no, it's
great. There's some serious extenuating circumstances to his usage so far this season. I don't think you can just look at it and say they haven't trusted Miles Sanders. They won week 1. He got 15 carries and 19 touches. They won in week 5. He had 11 carries and 16 touches. They got the doors blown off by the Cowboys and Chiefs. Those were the 2 games where he really didn't touch the ball. Last week, they played Tampa Bay. He still had 9 carries. So I think that it's a little overblown how much they haven't trusted him so far. And maybe the most important thing Dave said, there's been a real shift the last couple of weeks towards Miles Sanders playing and away from Kenneth Gainwell playing. They're going to have better game scripts moving forward. We've talked about the schedule. Giants, Washington, Jets for like 6 games in a row. Those should be games where Miles Sanders is getting 15 plus touches.
Man, look at the schedule. If the Eagles aren't careful, they might not have one of those 3 top 10 picks. Okay, because I
think they're going to be 500 or better. Yeah.
Oh no! You mean by the end of the year or rest
Yeah.
of starting that? No,
they're 2-4 right now.
They suck though.
They play 5 games straight against the Giants, Washington football team, and the Jets.
That's 3-2.
That's 4-1.
That's 3. They're not there. Yeah. I'll look, as an Eagles fan, I just don't really buy. No, our last thing here, they got 10 games left in the fantasy season, not including week 18. And 8 of their 10 opponents are 22nd or worse currently against running backs. Okay, Heath, continue on your list.
Yeah, so that took care of about a half the list. Tua Tagovailoa.
Oh,
yes, just threw for 300 yards against Jacksonville, has a pretty favorable schedule himself in the second half, and they have absolutely no run game. I don't fully expect him to ever have Devontae Parker, Will Fuller, Jalen Waddle, and Mike Gesicki all healthy at the same time. That seems like too much to ask with the health history of those guys. But I do think there's a possibility he'll have a long stretch with 3 of those guys healthy. And against this schedule with no run game, throwing the ball 35 plus times a game, I think Tua might be a borderline top 12 quarterback rest of the season.
All right, let's see. He is 50% rostered, and people might think of him just as, well, yeah, he's going to have trouble starting him in week 8 at Buffalo, but he's a start this week against Atlanta. They give up the 4th most points.
And then just a couple others real quick.
Oh, go ahead.
I didn't figure you wanted to spend too much time on Tua because his hope is that he'd be a low-end number 1 quarterback. The rookie running back I would say it about is not Javonte Williams. It's Michael Carter, because I think he's already got a better chance at winning that job. He's clearly better than the other guys in the backfield. And I think there's a chance that offense will be more improved. A.J. Brown and Cole Kmet were my last 2.
Oh, I hate Michael Carter's schedule coming out of the bye. But you know what? It doesn't, let's not think too short term here. There are a lot of weeks left. There are 10 weeks left until your fantasy season's over if you don't play in week 18. But Patriots, Bengals, Colts, and Bills. Then it gets so much easier. Dolphins, Texans, Eagles.
So he's a true second half breakout.
There you go. Okay. Dave, you are up.
As opposed to all the fake second half breakouts that we've given you. I want to second Tua. I think that if you're a manager that likes to carry 2 quarterbacks, neither of them being must-start guys, Tua should be one of those quarterbacks that you carry, and you can get him off the waiver wire right now.
Okay. That's it?
Well, that's what I was going to add there.
No, but do you have any second half breakouts that you'd like to?
I don't.
Oh, okay. All right, then we'll just go to the listeners. And I think everyone on this show, everyone at CBS is required to fill out a form saying that they believe in Keenan Allen and don't freak out about Keenan Allen. So we like Keenan Allen as a second half breakout.